Welcome home. I'm Ryan,
I'm Elie.
and I just want to first begin by saying I apologize for not having an episode out last weekend. You could probably hear it in my voice. I am sick. The day we were supposed to record, I couldn't even talk. And then the next day, I just didn't feel good. And then the next day, we were busy. And the next day, really busy. And today is Tuesday. Thank God it's already Tuesday. Because this week I'm actually working 40 hours as a sub. And therefore, I need to make sure that I have enough time in the mornings to do stuff I need to do. Example A, this podcast. So anyways, I have water as my drink because I don't like tea and I don't like coffee. And I did want something warm, but ironically, I got something that's cold, which is just plain water because that's kind of all we have. And I didn't want an energy drink because that's for a different occasion. What do you have?
I have a cookie dough latte.
Which she made
I did make on
her own espresso machine that I bought her for Christmas.
my Breville Barista Pro.
Yeah, and I feel like the last time we actually recorded was like 4 weeks ago. At least 3, because we did 2 podcasts in a row. We recorded back to back, so that's 2 weeks. Then we missed a week.
Yeah, but the one with the cars we didn't do very long ago.
I don't know.
Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so in those 2 to 3 weeks, I've wrote in my notes on my phone of the things that I want to talk about. And one of them I kind of already touched on, but I am working full-time for the next week. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but basically I'm just the person I'm filling in for moved positions. They moved to a day shift, and so that position is open. Obviously, I'm not going to take it because I don't want a full-time job, but I have the ability to be working a full-time job. The other thing is one of the other custodians at night, he quit because he got a job with like the state patrol, which was really cool. But I didn't know that. I didn't know he was going to leave soon, but he did. So now there's just me, if I fill in, and one other custodian. And we have a whole high school to do in 8 hours. And I got my area done in those 8 hours. But the other custodian had to do both areas, both his and the previous custodian's area, which I don't really know how he did. He was working his butt off. But that being said, I always feel bad when I would say my boss, when my boss texts me or calls me, he never calls me, he just texts me and asks me if I'm available this week or this day or whatever. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I can do it because I'm not busy. But like I feel obligated to say yes. And I've felt that way from the beginning of subbing back in 2018, I think is when I first started subbing. So long story short, I need to get that out of my system because it is not my responsibility to make sure that school is clean every day, and I shouldn't have to worry about it. Although the only reason why I worry about it is because the custodians, they're like my friends. They are nice people, and they work hard, and they do a good job. And I'm just sitting here on my butt at home doing relatively nothing compared to what they have to do. So I don't know. I just feel bad always about not going. Also last week, I was subbing in a district that was like 41. I say 41. It's like 40 minutes away. And I did it for 3 days, which were night shifts. It was 3:30 to 11. And I don't know why it was 7 hours. I'm just confused by that. I think the actual shift is 2:30 to 11, but for whatever reason, that was the shift I was subbing for. So, yeah, Wednesday night. Well, actually, Wednesday heading to work, my throat hurt really bad, and then at the whole time, my whole shift, throat hurt. Nothing could fix it. Thursday morning, I wake up and I'm sick. I can't even talk. So I'm here now, still a little sick, but I'm a lot better. Speaking of subbing, you want to talk about your subbing situation?
At the district that I student taught at, I like subbed very infrequently. I have probably only subbed like a handful of times, maybe a little more than that. But now that I have a new job lined up, I was hired for a long-term sub position in another district. It's about 15 minutes away from us, so it's farther than the district that I sub for now, but it's not very much farther. It's just a boring drive. But I was hired for a long-term sub position. It's in 4th grade, which I'm really nervous about. But it's going to be for 12 weeks because it's for a teacher who will be taking her maternity leave.
And how much do you make a day?
Roughly? I will be making $250 a day for the first 20 days.
Yeah, and I just want to say that will be the best thing that has happened to us, because that will allow me to not worry too much about getting sub positions for myself.
It's kind of like, I feel like the amount that I'd be making and how consistent it will be, because it won't be like me picking up jobs, hoping there will be another job. I know I'm going to be working for 12 weeks straight. It's kind of probably the same amount of money we would make picking up infrequent jobs together, or just, and it's just me working.
That'll allow me to spend more time on the house, and spring's coming, summer's coming, and that's when you got to start. But you just got to go ham on house projects. Mm-hmm. This winter, hardly anything done, because it's so freaking cold out and you don't want to do anything. And anything inside that you have to do, you have to rip up the floor, rip up the walls, rip out the ceiling, and that just lets in all this cold air, and it's awful to heat. But the $250 per day for at least the first month, it sounds like a lot, which it is. And actually, one of the custodians yesterday said, they make more money than teachers. And I said, yeah, but they don't have the benefits.
Any of the benefits.
And he goes, that is right. They don't. But I guess that's why the wage is so high, maybe. And I was like, maybe, I don't know. But
I think it's that, and also just not, the respect for teachers is very low.
Yeah.
But also, like, not just the like financial benefits, like health insurance. What else? What other benefits do? Like putting money into like a Roth IRA or 401k, those types of benefits. They also, like, in my opinion, I don't think subs get the benefits of like a full-time teacher, as far as like having your own classroom, building strong relationships with kids, and getting to see them all the time, like, and their progress, because their teachers, their future teachers, so you can literally see them and their growth throughout their entire like time in elementary. And as a sub, it's so brief, you don't really get to like make those relationships from the first day of school. I guess long-term subs are like a little bit closer to that, because you're with the kids for a really long time. But even then, I'm gonna have to leave these kids.
Yeah.
And unless I'm hired by the district as a full-time teacher, I probably won't see these kids ever again, because I'm subbing until the end of the school year pretty much. And so hopefully I will have a full-time position by next school year. So this will probably be my last time subbing, unless I end up subbing for the district that I have been in. I just haven't really wanted to, because I know what I'm getting myself into. So this might be like the last time that I'm not teaching, unless it's summer break. But yeah, it's 4th grade. I'm a little nervous because I love kindergarten, but I know someone who is also a 4th grade teacher at the same school, so she will be a lot of help to me. And then it's also just really good experience for me to have, but also to put on my resume when I'm applying for full-time positions.
And you need a shadow. You need to set that up.
I do need to set that up. I have a lot of work to do.
So, yeah. Like I said, I'm really excited. I've kind of been staring at the video schedule and thinking I'm going to be able to do all that because I'll have the time. This week, I don't think you can really get everything that I want to get done when you're working 40 hours a week.
Unless your content is about the 40 hours you work.
Right. And I think, although it's going to be hard this week, I'm going to get some stuff done. I got to go to the dump. I got to start doing stuff, make a video. But it just really sucks because I'm sick and I want to sleep in and I want to get to sleep. And because sleep, it doesn't necessarily cure your sickness, but it helps a lot. And I love my sleep. I have to get a lot of sleep. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I get sick almost all the if I'm not sick, that's like once in a while. Honestly, I get sick all the time, and I am so surprised that I have not gotten COVID, as far as I know, ever since it started. Haven't yet. I was, especially in the beginning, in the last couple years, just really good about wearing masks, staying away from people, whatever. And now, like, it's so weird going to, like, a big school that's packed with a bunch of kids, and, like, 95% of them aren't wearing masks, and they're all, like, bumping into each other. And then just, like, being near people and they're coughing and sneezing, I'm like, oh, that's kind of gross, but...
Okay, but imagine that, but in an elementary school, because kids don't know how to cover their coughs.
Yeah, they have no idea. They almost just try to make it worse.
They put everything in their mouths. They think that you want to share your food and your drink. So, like, if you have a water bottle with the straw, if you bring a tumbler to school, especially in kindergarten, can I have some?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I remember one time, it was in high school, but a friend of mine, she was like, do you have some water? And I was like, yeah, but I'm sick. She goes, oh, it's okay. I'll just, and she goes, I'll just fountain it if you want. And I was like, sure. Like, she'll just, like, you know, waterfall or whatever it's called.
Just hoping that the water didn't go back down.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I'm okay with sharing, but I think
if someone
it's a little
says
different
they're
now.
sick, though.
And because, you know, I was sick and I was like, I don't want to get you sick. But I also wouldn't want to drink something from someone who is sick. So I don't know what they were thinking, but they were just really thirsty, I guess. They were more thirsty than they
were scared of getting
sick. I don't know.
Some teachers buy, like, these little, like, straw covers. And, like, it's, like, one of the flip things that goes on top of the straw. Because they just know that kids will just put their mouths on anything. Disgusting.
I do sometimes fear of drinking out of a water fountain just because especially in, like, a younger school, because I know what they do.
That's going to be one of the procedures I teach.
Another thing that I just think in my head is, like, I know that not all custodians are like me, and I know that I don't always clean a water fountain, but I'm just hoping the custodian just cleaned it or something like that. Or, like, I'll just let the water run for a second before I drink out of it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I am thirsty. I drink a lot of water. Elie got me a Hydro Flask, a big one. I don't have it with me. It's in my lunch. And I drink... I don't always let it get to empty before I refill it, but I drink about 2 to 4 of those every day. And yesterday I didn't even pee at work, even though I had to. Like, almost the whole halfway through the shift I had to pee, and I didn't because I was too lazy and too busy. But It's funny. These segues are perfect. Speaking of being busy, I kind of touched on it earlier this weekend, or not this weekend, last weekend when the podcast was supposed to go out. Elie's sister had a baby shower, and that's one of the reasons why we're really busy. And because I was doing some stuff for it, of course I was sick, so I didn't go to help or to take pictures or anything like I wanted to. But it was a pretty big thing, and it was her sister got a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff she needed. And
She's pretty prepared. And then she had an Amazon registry, and the way that Amazon registries work is like if it's not, what's the word? If it's not fully bought out by the end of the registry, you can buy the items at a discounted price. And she also got quite a bit of Amazon gift cards to go towards that too. So that's really good. She got a ton of diapers, quite a bit of wipes, which is like, I think, the main thing that you need. But a lot of clothes. Surprisingly too, this is like random, but she got 4 sets of baby neck pillows. I just think that's so random. Like, I don't know.
And what else would you use that for?
Well, you can probably, they're probably meant for like just driving, like.
Yeah.
But we're also going on a trip to Hawaii in June, and so she could take one. She also got some swimsuits, so cute.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of because I have 2 other topics that I want to talk about because we talked about everything else. Yesterday while I was at work, my dad called me. He goes, "I know you're at work, but I have a question for you." And I was like, "Okay, what?" And then he goes, "Grandpa's old truck, the blue and white one, did you want it?" And I was like, "Did I want it? Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Because Grandpa's getting rid of a lot of things, and he was going to gift it to my cousin, Lexi." And my dad goes, "Well, you haven't gifted anything to Ryan, and I know he wanted it." And basically the transmission is shot, and it's an old truck. I don't even know what it is, but it smells so good inside because of like old gas and just, I don't know what it is. It's not just gas, but it smells, and it's old. The dash is all cracked and nasty and just dust, and I don't know. It's one of those things. It's just a farm truck or whatever. And when my dad said that my cousin wanted it, I was like, well, he did gift me that old Toyota.
Oh, that's true.
And my dad goes, "Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?" And I was like, "Yeah, so if Lexi still wants it, she can have it. But if she doesn't, then I'll take it." Then I kept thinking, I already have a truck. What am I going to do with this truck that has a broken transmission? I can change the transmission. I don't really know how to do that, but I can figure it out. And I don't know how much a transmission costs.
A lot.
But I would assume if I got a new transmission and put it in, and I could sell it for, maybe the same price as the transmission, so that the truck can at least continue its life with someone else or something. But Lexi and her husband bought the 5th wheel, and they're going to live in it on, I think, her husband's property or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, that's what happened. And in my head while I was working, I was thinking like how cool it would be to have this truck again. But that thing is old. It's not worth, it is worth putting the money into if you're going to keep it. But I don't know what else is wrong with it. It gets terrible. I mean, even worse than my truck. Terrible gas mileage. I mean, I think I told you before, but you go up to the dump and come back and you have to fill up. Like, it's so bad. So I don't think I would honestly say it's probably time for it to go. I am one to fix things up and try to continue its life as long as possible. But I don't think you could do that with that truck. It's a work truck, and it's been worked for a long time. That being said, that's like one of my last things I want to say. I was going to talk about working and money and just how the economy sucks, because I've been listening to some podcasts, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what are we doing in this country where teachers aren't making a lot and we have to work 40 hours a week to just barely not even be able to live and to function in this society. And it's just crazy that prices of things are going up. Gas goes up, and these companies make a bunch of money when gas doesn't need to go up. There's no reason for it except for profits, and it's just really annoying. But I'm just excited for your job. I'm excited for the summer. The other day when I was sick, like, I almost bedridden. It was almost 60 degrees out, and right now it is 28. It was almost 60 degrees out, and the only time I went outside was just to get the mail. And it felt great. It looked great. Our dog was outside for a long time and just sitting in the grass, and I'm like, this I cannot wait for. It's going to be so nice. I'm so ready for the spring. Spring starts on March 20th, I think. And I'm just ready for it. I'm tired of the cold. I'm tired of the darkness. So tired of waking up at 7, 8 o'clock and the sun isn't really out yet. Or right now it's getting there, but it's just... And I would much rather the sunrise starts later in the day than setting earlier, if that makes sense. So in the winter, I'm okay with waking up at 8 o'clock and the sun hasn't come up, so that at 6 o'clock in the in evening the sun's still out or something. Like I just, let's shift that time over so the sun's out for longer in the day, because when you work a day shift or even just overnight or something like that, where the majority of the time you're inside when the sun's out or you're asleep when the sun's out, it's awful. With that being said, is there anything that you wanted to talk about? Because I'm out of everything and I don't really know how long we've been going for. This is going to be a shorter episode for sure. Hopefully next week's better. It should be, because I won't be working, and next week's a new week. And I do have to say though, I will try to maybe work once a week or once every other week or something, just so I can, for them to like know that I'm still available and still wanting to work there.
An extra income would be nice.
Yes, and I thought about it too. I was going to mention it earlier, but I kind of went off on a tangent. But I was going to say, if I can make this week work and actually do stuff and be productive, I might actually just keep doing it until I can't, or until they find someone. But I can't do that. I know in my head, I'm like, I can't do that. At the start of this, I said it's already Tuesday, because Sunday night and Monday morning before I went to work, I was like, I really don't want to go. And I'm just thinking I'm going to be saying that every single day until I'm done with it. And I don't want to work 40 hours a week, especially as a custodian there. Literally, some of those classrooms were awful. Like gum wrappers, wads of paper, the sticks off of like lollipops or suckers. Like, these kids do not care. The one in the bathrooms, in the boys' bathroom, they put paper towels in the sink, and it's not like they even were trying to flood the place, they just put it in the sink. The whole thing wasn't even wet yet.
They're
so
just lazy.
I don't, and they are lazy to the point where they throw the paper towel. The garbage isn't full, so it can go in there. It doesn't fall out. Like, it's not a mountain. And you just see a bunch of wads of paper towels on the floor by the garbage.
I don't even think they're aiming. I think they just straight up drop it, because subbing in high school, in the classroom, they drink a can of Arizona tea, and 5 seconds later it's on the ground.
I don't understand. I was never like that in high school. I don't think I was ever like that at any time in my life, especially now. But I'm a lot older, and I know how it feels to clean that up. So why would I subject that to other people?
It's just so, like, where you live, is your room like this?
Probably. Not only do they not throw it in the garbage or put it in the sink, but they get a wad of wet paper towel and throw it and hit the wall and let it stick, or up by the window or the ceiling. And it's like, I think they do that almost every time.
That's not even like high school behavior. That's like 5th grade elementary behavior.
Well, see, it is a high school, right? I always get confused between Highland and Wapato, but yeah, it's in the science wing, and that's one of the older parts, but I think it's just all high school, and I don't understand what their deal is. I don't know. It's funny, sure, for them.
I don't even think it's funny. Like, if I was in high school, I'd be like, that's so dumb.
Definitely, back when I was in high school and I would see those idiots do stuff like that, I'm like, dude, that's so annoying.
It's not even funny.
Like, I was the other day, it was yesterday. It's gonna be a long week. Yesterday, I go in there and I'm walking. It's just right after lunch, or they're just going, like like half of the building's going to another class while the other half eats.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get through and walking behind these kids, and one of them off to the side stops and like makes the person behind them run into them. It's their friend or whatever, so they're being funny and they push each other. Now the kid in front of me, two kids, I don't know how to say it, but the kid in front of the kid in front of me stops, makes the kid in front of me run into them, and then they're like, dude, stop, like, and the other person's like, there's someone, and I just kind of smiled, because I did think it was kind of funny, but I just smiled. I didn't say anything, but if I wasn't paying attention, and if I didn't know that they were already going to do that, I would have ran right into them. And I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been bad, and I would have been embarrassed. And they probably would have made fun of me. And I was thinking too, a lot of these kids are like taller than me, and I'm 23, going to be 24.
24 soon.
And I look around, I'm like, some of these kids look a lot older than me. And I feel like I can play a high schooler. Like, I can take my keys away and my lunchbox away, and I can walk around and no one would know that I'm an adult. And that says that, I don't know if that says that I look young or if they look old or both, but either way, that's one of the reasons why I don't really like, I definitely wouldn't want to be a custodian there full time, because I don't think any kid would listen to me. If they were doing something or they weren't supposed to be somewhere or whatever, I don't think they would listen to me.
And imagine being the one responsible for those kids. They don't listen to you when you're young.
And that's crazy, but
I just do my best to survive when I teach at the high school, because they don't listen at all. But before they leave, like when the day is over and they at least stack the chairs. I'm like, okay, that's very nice of you, because I would have to do it. But I look at the ground and I'm like, okay, there is garbage all over the floor. I bring out my teacher voice, because usually I'm pretty nice. But at the end of the day, I'm fed up. I'm like, there is garbage all over the ground and you need to pick it up before you leave. I don't care if it's not yours. If it's by you, you're picking it up. because I'm not going to pick it up.
Yeah, the amount of just garbage that is put on the ground. I go into a classroom and by the pencil sharpener, the bin that the shavings go into, it looked like someone accidentally dropped it on the ground, so it went everywhere, and now it's into this carpet that is just, it's really small, low pile carpet or whatever it's called. And I'm just thinking, now I have to vacuum in here. I look around and it's just a complete mess anyways. I'm like,
When I find people's homework on the ground, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, this is going in the trash. Because first of all, this isn't like your homeroom. Like, it's not like in elementary where you can set it on a kid's desk and they'll come back to their desk and see it.
yeah.
This is in 7th period, so you have 6 periods before you of kids that are just going to sit there. You're not going to find your homework because they're going to mess with it.
Yeah.
So it's going in the trash. Be more responsible.
One of the custodians told me a story about one time they were cleaning classrooms and stuff, and there was this jacket that kept just being on the ground, and he would put it up on a desk or put it somewhere, and every day he would go back in there and it'd be on the ground. So one day he just threw it away, and I think the teacher, someone goes like, "Where's this jacket?" And he goes, "Oh, it's gone. I threw it away," because it was always on the ground.
Yep.
And no one took it home or picked up, and so I'm tired of it, so I just threw it away. And I started laughing. I was like, because he was talking about like pencils and colored pencils and crayons and stuff, and how they would always be on the ground, and he would just collect them. And then after a while, he would just have a small bucket of them, and he would just put it on the teacher's desk or someone's desk, and he would just say, "Here you go." And I laughed, and I said, "Well, the teacher goes in there, and all their stuff on their desk is now on the ground because you just shoved it out of the way or something." But he was actually kind of funny about it. But I don't think I would ever do that. It's one of those things where they should pick it up and they should take it home and it's theirs, blah blah blah. But I'm not kind of that much of a wasteful person.
I don't think I would throw the coat away, but I would definitely take it out of the classroom. Because no one in here is picking it up, so maybe someone in the office will.
Oh, you know what's really bad is at the teacher's desk. There's paper clips. Oh. And they're on the ground. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, dude,
Do you clean around the teacher's desk?
Yeah, I get it. You're a teacher, and I get the busyness with teachers, but there's 3 paper clips.
You should just clean the classroom.
And you don't pick them up.
And not around the teacher's desk and see how messy it gets.
Oh, I know how messy it'll get. Because I already, even when I clean like every day, I'll go back there and there'll be something that I have to pick up or I have to vacuum up or something. But sometimes it's not as bad just because they're a lot cleaner and there are other places than just their desk. But yeah, it's just really annoying, and I have to leave in an hour and like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm not ready for that. Although I do have to say, I think today might be better because I know what I'm getting into. Because yesterday is when I found out that the other custodian isn't there anymore. So, but there is a game there tonight.
There is a game. My brother plays there tonight.
So we'll see how that goes.
I was going to say, I'm really excited for summer too. I think all teachers are always excited about summer, but it's going to be a really busy summer because if I end up getting a full-time position, I have to start getting everything ready for my classroom. We have to set up my classroom, and I don't have a lot of heavy things. Like a lot of teachers have like heavy furniture and stuff.
Oh yeah, you just have heavy books.
I haven't really accumulated any furniture for my classroom yet. That might be something I have to do when I know what my classroom looks like, when I know what grade I'm teaching for sure, because I'm not going to get like, I don't know. Anyways, it's going to be, I have to set up my classroom, so Ryan's going to have to help me with that too.
Yep.
I'm so excited though. I really hope that I really hope that I'm able to find a full-time position by the end of spring, like early summer, because I don't want to be like without a job and then August comes.
Yeah, like 2 days before the
I want to be able to
start of
prepare,
school.
yeah, especially for my first full-time position, which that means I'm going to have to start applying for jobs. Hopefully there's some open because there's literally zero in our area open right now. But while I'm long-term subbing, I'm going to be looking for my full-time position because usually they start to open up around March, April. Sometimes they don't open up until June though, so we'll see.
Yeah. So with that being said, I think this will be the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and we'll be back here hopefully next weekend. That is the plan. Anything that you want to say? All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.